Then come and sit here and say, oh, we are doing it. Nanado is doing what? What is he doing? What is it? Why are you saying? We feel it. What are you talking about? You do what? Because in the name of politics, who speak the truth? Because the person from our hometown. You don't get me. Or from your wherever. Let's be honest for once. The reason we are not doing well is because we are not honest as a citizen. Countries that do well, they value the truth. And truth is not just saying yes or no. Truth is looking for facts. You look for inquiry. That's why we go to school. Education is the search for truth. The truth about malaria, the truth about unemployment, the truth about currency depreciation, the truth about our own prejudice. Research is to find truth. So you push money into research, medicine, hypertension, research into cancer. That's truth. So societies that value truth, like Japan, they'll do better than you because you don't value truth. You get me? If you don't, you can pray, but that's not truth. If you don't value, societies that advance, they value truth. They spend money to ascertain the truth about their situation, and they solve it, but you don't want to accept the truth. You don't want to accept the truth. You want to tell yourself you are the best, and you believe it. The fact that you believe a lie is just delusion. Now, you can be delusional. Now, delusion means you are lying to yourself. You can lie to somebody. That's dishonest, but delusion is worse than dishonesty. Because delusion means you know you are wrong, but you believe, you convince yourself you are right. We are delusional. Ghana, Black Star of Africa for where? First country of Sub-Saharan. So what? Go and look at all the facts. Some guy did a video on Cote d'Ivoire. Go and look at the Cote d'Ivoire video. Look at the stadiums they are playing in. Look at the stadium of football. Look at the parks. Is the parks in Cote d'Ivoire you are seeing? Is there anyone in Ghana like this? Even Accra Sports Stadium, they stopped that they are going to do music concerts in a stadium. You go and see nails on the floor and things. Our football is going bad. Then you get up and say, what are you talking about? We can't even compete in football. There's no grassroots, astroturfs everywhere. We've lost it. There's no commitment to excellence anywhere. People don't even read any properly. Stories are poorly written everywhere. We are just living, shouting every day, convincing ourselves that we have the first sub-Saharan African country for successful elections. You sit there, look at Senegal. Don't rest on your own. Let's get serious. Let's go back to truth. Speak the truth. Why are we failing? That's the thing. Let's go. Let's ascertain the truth. If you don't value truth, you can't advance. Societies that value truth, they will do well for their citizens. We are living a lie. If you live a lie, nature will resist you. Because the lie, you see, truth is reality. So the more you search for truth, the closer you get to reality. That's why some people have put research into things to solve their problems. We don't want to do that. We've thrown all our scientists to the background, all our professors, they are book long too much. We go on air. How can you advance? How can you advance? You are doing the discussion on the policy. When you are in power, it means everything you want to say is true. People have done research and they have told you the thing is wrong. You don't care because you have power. And you appoint some of your upstarts on social media to attack people who speak. Follow them with robots, bots and things. You get some money and you think you are doing something to yourself. When your child falls sick and you don't have ambulance, that's when you know that you lived a lie. That's what. So let's go for truth. That's the issue. If you don't have truth, you cannot succeed. And the truth starts with us being honest to the facts. The facts show that the economy is not doing well and the government has mismanaged it. Let's accept it. Let's accept it and stop all these big English.
Unleashing the power of relevant.
In spite of the inability to qualify from the group stage to the next round of the tournament, participating in the 2023 African Cup of Nations tournament without doubt gave Ghana some intangible benefits. Some of them are as follows. The pride of participation. Ghana was among the 24 countries out of the 55 African countries which qualified for the 2023 African Cup of Nations tournament. This undoubtedly raised Ghana international recognition and image as one of the powerhouse football nations in Africa.
Years down the line.
And already Raymond has started the conversation. Why you can't look to Ukraine as an excuse. You can't look to Ukraine as an excuse for why the city is in a free fall again. In fact, free fall is being charitable. We want to borrow from Baumia's own words. In 2017, he told all of us that they have arrested the city and given the key to the IGP. Well, then of course he was a vice president. He's still a vice president, but something has changed about his status now. He is the candidate, the presidential candidate of the new patriotic party at the time when the city has broken jail again. I mean, in the last 7 years, the city has broken jail many times. We've had this conversation on State of Play before, right? The difference is we are 8 months
to an election.
Yeah. So it changes a lot. In fact, it changes everything. And as you know, once the cedi depreciates, everything follows. Yeah. So I was looking at where we were with the cedi in 2001 to 2021. It was 6 cedis to the dollar. If you look at the fact that the Energy Commission predicts that we will need $1.2 billion to buy fuel for the thermal plants this year. If it was 2021, we need $6 billion. In same amount, we're keeping that amount of $1.2 billion constant. If it was 2021, we need $6 billion. So we need 6 billion cedis, right? Just about that. In 2024, you have to multiply that by 14. They're talking about some 15 billion cedis. Same amount of dollars to buy fuel, but completely different amount when they come to the cedi equivalent. And that fundamentally is why doomsday is going to continue. Because obviously, we are producing the power in dollars and we are selling it in cedis. Yeah. So the depreciation of the cedi is going to affect your ability
to make up for the...
Exactly.
In fact, and if you were to be an ordinary business, you crash more than you pass on to the ordinary people of this country.
So it's crazy. I mean, the conversation we're having, it affects every little thing. In fact, inflation.
Yes. Down. It's established relationship between exchange rate and inflation.
Down to it.
Yes.
The doomsday primarily down to it. The fuel you buy at the pumps, down to it. We need $400 million a month to get the fuel we need to power our cars, etc. I mean, the BDCs need that to bring in refined product. And then I heard over the last 2 days that Central, the refinery, had added a whole different dynamic to the dollar problem because they're importing crude to refine. Right? Before now, you didn't have Central in the mix, so you're just dealing with your 400 million from BDCs, right? Now you have Central, they need crude. So you're buying crude. In fact, they bought crude that they need money, they're looking for dollar to go and do. So the government then went to a cabinet meeting and then decides that let's bring Central under the gold for oil arrangement. So now they are calling it gold for crude.
Sorry, gold for oil?
Yeah.
Contrary to the IMF
directive?
Oh no, it's doing it. In fact,
directive may be a better one, but I was saying urgent.
They have actually upgraded the gold for oil. They have a component called gold for crude. Gold for crude. So government is now sourcing the crude and paying the crude with gold for Central. And then Central will obviously sell in cedis and then pay back government. So the instruction is that the Central refined oil, crude, right, cannot be sold to BDCs. It's being given directly to boss, and the boss, because that's the arrangement, and the goal for whatever, and then the BDCs are complaining. But it's all because of the cedi depreciation. So, Baumia, the question you're asking is, can he put the cedi back in handcuffs?
I have asked this question before, that maybe he's busy. You know, more recently, when, the vice president does not take care of people's allowances, teacher trainees allowances. So it makes sense that you would have a vice president that's busy. But when he ordered that they should be paid, today as we speak, we understand that the money is being transferred. If it has not been transferred, into the account of the health ministry. So it appears that the vice president, when he's ordering things to happen, he can make it work. Like the way he was able to order 175 million. This one, we need him. Let's not get it wrong. The introduction of Mahmoud Bawumia is the economic messiah who would fix the economy of this republic. Now, Winston has the entire 50-page restoring the value of the cedi lecture from 2014.
Yes, I have.
Winston has the entire 50 page.
Why are we going to dig that thing up?
I'm going through.
But
permit me to only quote the conclusion.
Okay.
It says, Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, I would like to repeat without exaggeration that the Ghanaian economy is in crisis. It is time for serious action. If government does not take the right decision, and soon, the Ghana would like to approach the IMF for a bailout before the end of the year. At the end of the day, the obvious lesson is that we cannot run away from fiscal and monetary discipline, no matter how hard we try. I thank you for your attention. God bless you all, and God bless our nation. Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, flag bearer, substantive. Please, the economy is in crisis today. After the IMF, they're already with them. So as for that part, there is no conversation. We had a conversation 2 years ago, but we're already with the IMF. What is required is that, and that history people cannot miss. This entire economy is under Mahmoud Bawumia, whether we like it or not. That conversation we have about Mahmoud Bawumia, when he was always being introduced by the president of this republic, was that this is the guy. I picked him because he helped Kufuor fix the city, do other things with the economy, and he will do the same with us. We all remember that, right? That was
yes.
We all remember
that's
that.
not in doubt.
Yes. This is the time we need the most, not in distributing laptops or iPads, tablets, not in talking about technology, not in talking about digitalization. This is the time we need a savior, the be it all in the economy to fix the economy.
You see,
no, it is most important. Primary role of every economy, and I'm coming to this right
before you come to that. I just want to say, Dr. Bawumia has this: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Yeah.
If you play propaganda with the economy, the reality will expose you. This is page 44 of restoring the value of the city. So what should government do to restore some value to the city? The good thing about literature is that it provides a basis for analysis all the time. And we can always go back to it and say, these are things that we know we should do. It says, Mr. Chairman, the following measures may be considered. The government has to admit that the economy is in crisis so that it can carry along the country and get public support for tough remedial measures it may have to take. 2, I'll just read the points. 2, government should restore fiscal discipline by ensuring that we cut our codes according to our size. Ghana, 177 million to pay nursing training allowance.
And was ordered within hours. It is supposed to be delivered today.
You think that's the most important thing we have to do under the circumstances?
They have to win an election.
I don't even say that we promise kidney people 1 whole year. We are still doubling how we are going to effectively deploy that.
Listen to this carefully. Listen to it. So, revenue enhancing and expenditure reducing measures, such as, thank you, Raymond, for the contribution.
Yes.
Ensuring value for money in the award of government contracts through a transparent and competitive procurement process that minimizes sole sourcing. 2, reducing revenue leakages with respect to tax exemptions. You tell me what the reality is today. I mean, everyone listening to us can
just say John Mahama saying this.
No. This is 2014.
Expansion.
Because it sounds like something that the opposition leader will say now. So you are saying that. So that's surprising. If somebody just joined us, if somebody just joined us, you think you are reading. It doesn't sound like you're saying that Bawumia said.
But that's 2014. Then he was in opposition. Yes. So he said it.
In 2014.
I'll just end at point 2 because all the meat is here. C, expansion of the tax net through the formalization of the economy.
Oh, so you mean that at that time, Bawumia was telling John Mahama
to formalize the economy.
Okay. So now he has to tell himself.
The issue of biometric national ID cards and the implementation of a working street address system are critical to the formalization. That has been done, to be fair. But it doesn't end like that. We still do not have the informal sector.
If I said it could be completed in a year.
In a year. We didn't do that in a year, but let's move on. Dealing effectively with corruption in the management of public finances, the verdict is out there. Government should immediately undertake a biometric-based payroll audit to eliminate ghost workers. That's something we do back and forth. This is the reality. Look, solving the problem. We once started something. The times where we could borrow 3 billion at the beginning of every year and say, and pride ourselves that we're doing something when we're artificially managing the Ghana city. Those days are over. Now we can't go back. In fact, we're struggling, waiting patiently for 360 million. I listened to you yesterday with Lord Mensah. And look, the simple thing is that where we find ourselves today,
there's nothing we can do.
You cannot change it overnight.
It's not possible.
This is something that we should have done 7 years ago. It saddens my heart when the distinguished government statistician, an appointee of this government, actually shows government that, look, these are the problems we're going through. He does the trade vulnerability report and says, these are the things we import. Oil. We import more oil than we export oil. That's not in doubt.
Toothpick,
but you know. You see? So when you know these things, what the distinguished government statistician is telling
you
you
is sending dollars to buy your money.
That's Massa, what the government is telling you is that just look at where, and it actually shows you that your neighboring countries, what they import, and where you may have competitive advantage or comparative advantage. We are here waiting for IMF money. So as for us, in other jurisdictions, look, when the US government decided that they had to go electric, the government that was taking a decision was taking a decision because it was going to be implemented in its time.
That's true.
You're looking into the future.
Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, flag bearer, substantive, please. The economy is in crisis today. After the IMF, they're already with them. So as for that part, there is no conversation. We had a conversation 2 years ago, but we're already with the IMF. What is required is that, and that history people cannot miss. This entire economy is under Mahmoud Bawumia, whether we like it or not.
Thank you. My name is Fanel Tumboateng from Biometric TV. Mr. Vice President, you will remember this quote: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rates will expose you. And as at the time you were making this statement, a dollar to Cedi was 3 cedis and above, or about 3 cedis. 4 cedis, right, thank you. 2024, a dollar to a Cedi is 15 Ghana cedis, about 15 Ghana cedis. Okay, over 15 Ghana cedis, thank you. How do I explain this to my mother, a cocoa seller, that in 2014, the fundamentals were weak? In 2024, where a dollar is now 15 cedis, the fundamentals are not weak, but the prices of goods and services are high today. Thank you.
So the other question was the nice one Vanessa was asking: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, which is a truism. It was true then, and it's still true today. It's an economic truism that once the fundamentals weaken, you will see the impact on the exchange rate fundamentally. And when we talk about many of these fundamentals, you're talking about the GDP growth rate, you're talking about the fiscal balance, you're talking about the exchange, the reserves, level of the reserves that you have, inflation, and so on. When we came into office, during the first term before we hit COVID, between 2017 and 2019, you saw the fundamentals pretty much strengthening by all accounts. And the exchange rate depreciated in those 3 years by less than 5%. That was the lowest depreciation in the currency for 28 years. 28 years. That was the lowest depreciation of the currency. I think we went up, even after COVID, we didn't get that high a depreciation. But the biggest shock for the economy came in 2022. All hell was breaking loose in 2022. Inflation, 54% as at November 2022. Exchange rate had depreciated 54%. And of course, you could look at the fundamentals were in trouble at that time. You saw the fiscal deficit going up, you saw inflation going up, growth declining. And so for me, it wasn't surprising, if it was shocking, the extent to which the exchange rate went. So the point that we are making is that once the fundamentals weaken, you will get it shown in the exchange rate. And this is why we have seen that recently, even though we were depreciating in November at 54%, this year the depreciation has been 18.6% so far, right? We're looking at about 18.6%. So you are looking at a situation this year. Why is the depreciation lower? Because the fundamentals have strengthened. Fiscal deficit is under 5%. We are running a primary surplus. Growth has gone up first quarter to 4.7%, higher than projected. The reserves are increasing, and the gold for oil program is helping. So as the fundamentals and inflation today is around 20%. So there's been a strengthening of the fundamentals, and you've also seen more relative exchange rate stability. I mean, in all of this, and I want you to take this away. When I looked at what was happening in 2022, I mean, the 54% depreciation of the cedi, it was very scary. In fact, in 2022, this economy was on the verge of collapse, because you saw our reserves declining very steeply. The exchange rate was blowing up, inflation was up, and my worry at that time, frankly, was that I could see this country moving towards Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was what was clearly in my mind at that time, because you saw protests in Sri Lanka. They had no fuel. Dumsor was there. And when you saw the way our reserves were moving in 2022, we were heading right in that direction, that we were going to get queues on the street. We couldn't buy fuel. We couldn't pay for so many things. And it was in that context that I came up with two policies. One was the gold for oil policy and the gold purchase program of the Bank of Ghana. Because when I looked at it, you know, sometimes when they say necessity is the mother of invention, because when I looked at it, we were headed for disaster, you know. But I made the case. I looked at the numbers, and I said, well, how are we going to get foreign exchange to buy fuel? It is declining reserves. And then I looked at gold. I said, let's take a look at gold. I looked at the reserves of gold that we had, and it was 8.7 tons. 8.7. That is from independence to 2022. Our gold reserves were 8.7 tons. 8.7. I mean, when you look at the US, they had 8,000 tons in gold reserves. The UK, Germany, France, you know, all above 2,000, 3,000 tons. And Ghana, the largest gold producer in Africa, had 8.7 tons. So I said, this is something that we need to change. And so Ghana needs to start, because the thing about gold for us is that we don't have to export anything to get gold. If we have cedis, we'll buy gold right here locally. So we can use our cedis to buy gold without needing to export cocoa or oil or diamonds or timber. We just buy the gold locally. That's what we have that many countries don't have. It's just something that many countries don't have that opportunity to do so. So I then came up with the idea that let's do, instead of, since we don't have forex at the bank to pay for oil, let's use gold. And therefore we went into this gold for oil and gold purchase program for reserves. And what is very, very interesting, frankly, without this gold for oil, the gold purchase program, this economy would have collapsed. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. Why do I say so? In the last couple of years, Bank of Ghana under the gold purchase program has been able to buy $5 billion of gold. $5 billion of gold. Think about it. We've gone to the IMF to look for $3 billion, which is going to be paid over 3 years. And this is why we are going through it. But locally, we've been able to buy $5 billion. And this is why there are no queues for petrol. This is why Dumso has not happened in Ghana. Because otherwise, where would you have gotten $5 billion from your reserves? Where would you have gotten $5 billion from your reserves to keep up all the payments you needed to make? So that has been, for us, the game changer. And so the pilot that we are seeing with the gold purchase program and the gold for oil program, I want to institutionalize it going forward. And this is why, by the grace of God, when I am president next year, we are going to institutionalize this. Someone asked me, oh, why is it that the French West African countries have not seen depreciations in their currency? Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, and all of these. I said, well, they are anchored. The currency is anchored to the euro through the French franc. So they are anchored. Unfortunately for Ghana, we don't have an anchor. There is no anchor for the city. So what I am going to introduce, what I want to institutionalize, is something that we have learned from this crisis. You will not find it in any textbook. Maybe some people will now write it in a textbook. You won't find it in a textbook. It's not in a textbook. So what I'm going to do is fairly simple, as I said, but we have had to learn about it, because what we are going to do is to say that if you want foreign exchange, and we've tried it already, the pilot with some.
In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong Cedi was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the Cedi and create again a strong Cedi that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our banks to be able to develop. $1, 1 Cedi. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 Cedis, $1. If I was them, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong Cedi was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the Cedi and create again a strong Cedi that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our banks to be able to develop. We have told the world.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief we choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Wednesday, the 28th of August, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Biometric commissions 10,000 YE artisans. They receive starter packs for business. Asante distills 3 chiefs over Galamsey. GCB Bank maintains strong half-year growth. The Ghanaian Times. Ongoing 2024 WASI. WAEC nabbed 6 teachers over exam malpractices. First 10,000 artisans graduate from YEA's intensive skills training program. I'll reduce electricity charges by 50% if Dr. Biometric. 3 pre-tertiary teachers union demand improved conditions of service from government by September 16. Daily Guide. 10,000 youth graduate from YEA program. NDC goons attack NPP supporters over drip project. The New Crusading Guide. Another 10,000 YEA young game changers graduate after intensive skills training program. Despite government ban, land guards refuse to vacate East Legon lands. NPP makes gains in Ayawaso East. PC optimistic of victory. Government to deliver district housing units through NHF construction model. APN AAI to host Global Africa Forum in New York on 25th September. Godwin Avenobo goes home September 14. The Insight. Group petitions OSP over $245 million expenditure on African Games in Ghana. Osla Blas Mahama says Ghana needs digital upgrade man, not reset failed man. NDC manifesto promises 25,000 new security jobs. Mahama cares for kidney and cancer patients, free fee admission for tertiary students and others. Teshi Manche sprinkles Pupo to mark Homo amid calls for unity. The Herald. Cocoa board bosses hide $87 million debt owed European banks, raising for no syndicated loan. Chief Justice using General Legal Counsel to rescue unpopular Ejapa Mensah. Mahama returns Biometric fire at media encounter. Engage skilled YEA personnel on Agenda 111 projects. CEO pleads as 10,000 pass out in 10 trade areas. NPP flag bearer unveils his anti-corruption strategy, proposes unified legislation for agencies. The Informer, my record is superior. Biometric jabs Mahama. Mahama 24-hour economy lands at nightclubs. Steve Mantiao. Disinformation, military exposes IDEC boss. Alleged plot to rig 2024 elections. Retract or face consequences. Minister warns NDC's Bande. Equipping Ghanaians with employable skills. 10,000 youth get boost from YEA. Towards development, prosperity of African continent. Prosperity Network, American Institute join forces for Global Africa Forum. The Inquisitor. Africa Games, $4.5 million accreditation. Yusuf goes silent. NPP deserves another term. Nyenahin Hine speaks at Deba for Napo. GBC Bank PLC post strong profit growth. First half of 2024 profit before tax was 700 million cedis. YEA graduates first 10,000 artisans. Ioko grabs 4 awards at IAA conference. Ayaso East NPP PC optimistic of victory. The Daily Statesman, 10,000 youth secure jobs through YEA skills training program. Public not enthused by Mahama's 24-hour nightclub promise. Temamoto will revamp Max new infrastructure era. APN AAI to host second Global Africa Forum in New York on September 25. The Ghanaian Publisher, 10,000 YEA artisans graduate. Government to adopt NHF model for housing project upon Nkrumah. Napo, business moguls mourn with Bechi, Achemfo and Kandapa. APN AAI to co-host Global Africa Forum in New York. Nana Bermo Usu, the first slums chiefs engaging in partisan politics. The Accra Times, Mahama's pledge to Ghana. The NDC government I lead will be about you. Speaker Bagbin champions sports development. Commission state of the art. McCoy Sports Stadium in Nadaoli. Electrochem gives jobs to Adan youth. Seeds part of Songo Salt mining concession to locals. GRA schools press call on its customer-centric policy. Former Bulsa South PM donates motorbikes to NDC. The Custodian, new era of skills development. YEA graduates 10,000 artisans. Dry spell, government earmarks 8 billion cedis to support farmers. Mahama in 24-hour economic gaffe. Nightclub owners baffled over his day club proposal. Ioko sweeps 4 awards at IAA Confab. Government to use NHF model for district housing units. The New Finder. ECG to replace 250,000 Nuri meters with new smart prepaid meters in September. GCB Bank records 700 million cedis profit. NITA calls for inclusive digital transformation. Daily Post. NDC begins highlighting of manifesto promise sector by sector. Health. Mahama cares policy to care for persons with chronic diseases such as cancers, diabetes, kidney failure, dialysis, heart diseases, etc. Security, 25,000 to be recruited for the security services. Backlog of promotions to be cleared. Medical packages to be reviewed for retired and serving security personnel, etc. Education, timely promotion of teachers to be prioritized. Teacher licensure to be abolished. NPP's mandatory national service for teacher trainees to be abolished. Teachers to be assisted to own homes, etc. When a small talker suddenly becomes a stammerer at a media encounter, then you know he's lying. Mahama jabs Baumia. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She's pleased. But now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains the new fleet-finding darts are more accurate than the old ones. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't automated your fleet management yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling ye. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more drama, man. Still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah. Sorry. But rest of us give us here and turn down.
But you got some. But for me to give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a turn down.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni fie dumie no ono nso nom.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkohwe Dr. Ban wo ye den wa.
Oh, mesi ya fa no ko ma mi buru a.
Ayi ma mi buru. Ko ni ate be ko. Bra, mu mi fa no ko Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban no ya de.
Bra, se ba no mpemu adwuma sasabro sro Dr. Ban wo ye.
Hey, me kwa na meka. Oh, no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire wo.
Hello, my name is Roland Walker. I'm here at Coastal Park. It's one of the many courts belonging to estate masters, and they are into service plots, property management, and luxury homes. And just in case you want to make that decision to invest into a landed property, estate masters is the right choice to make. If it is from an indenture, a site plan, you want it also barcoded, all is available. You might have heard about Chopoli. It's where we have the next cottage of estate masters. It is not only one of the thriving, but the most inviting landed property sites for you also to invest in. We encourage you, do invest in the next cottage at Chopoli. It is just close to the yet to be demarcated airport. That also will be a valuable property for you to invest in.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Choose the perfect prize every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes. All to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get that package when you have to come out. One lie. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck. We'll be ready. We have star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for adults.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and bio.
With your body,
Hey,
there, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's been an awesome journey with Momo from MTN. 15 years of ease, safety, and convenience. This is definitely worth celebrating. That's why the Momo at 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes to say thank you. Send money to an MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So go on, download my Momo on App Store or Play Store to enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. If you're thinking of getting the toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. It is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. KEL 360 toothpaste, another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864798. KEL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? You can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. Okay. All right. So with me on the show this morning, I have a member of the communications team of the MPP, Ernest. Good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
Right. Also with me on the show this morning is the member of parliament for the Tamale North constituency. He's also the ranking member on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee, Alhaji Alhassan Saibu Suhini. Alhaji.
Yeah.
Yade.
Yade.
You are behaving like a friend of mine. When he sees you, he speaks a lot of French. Then when you ask that question,
when you go further, in fact, you see, he didn't express enough confidence. So I've also stopped me in my tracks because I don't go beyond the Yagida.
The good thing about it is that at the end of the day, at least you spoke something. Those who, if he didn't follow, nobody would know your limitations.
Asking me about home and the family. And the family. That's what I mean by Agida. Agida is home.
Okay. I have no.
That's fine.
Alhaji, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, it's been a long time.
Yes.
Monitoring from the side. But everything is well. Let me say good morning to Ernest, and also good morning to our viewers, especially the very good people of the Tamale North constituency. I was in Winneba, and from there on Sunday, Randy, I rushed to Tamale, to my constituency, just to continue community engagements that I was doing before the manifesto launch, telling the good people of Ghana the hope that is ahead of us, even as we deal with the challenges that we have been deliberately and incompetently and cluelessly plunged into by this government. So I went home, and yesterday I was on radio and TV, a number of them hooked up, just so that we could take home the manifesto and the goodies in the manifesto, especially as it relates to our people, in the north especially. I mean, this year has been a very terrible year for farmers in general. And apart from the fact that farm inputs were hard to come by, the rains also didn't start on time. Government so-called intervention and support by way of providing fertilizer came very late. And unfortunately also nature was not favorable. So, I mean, a lot of farmers are just, biting their fingers, so under so much agony. And so it is important that they know that there's hope, on the horizon. The fact that His Excellency President Mahama is promising to, set up this farmer service centers across the country, where it will no longer become difficult to get farm inputs when the rainy season starts, where they will get support on time when they need chemicals for their farms, whether they have money or not. And also the fact that, look, the North is largely Muslim dominated, and he has thought about the need to bring about the second holiday for, Muslims when we celebrate Eid, but to do it in such a way that it does not increase the number of holidays that we have in this country, because there's a need for us to work harder than before, and that's why the 24-hour economy is a game changer. And there's also the need for us to have more days, working days. And I like the idea that, yes, even though that particular holiday is deserving, but it must be done in such a way that it does not lead to reduced productivity in the country. So I think I had a very good time in the constituency yesterday, explaining these policies that are directly beneficial to the people in our respective communities. And I can assure you that many people you talk to these days cannot simply wait to cast their ballots. My problem, however, is with the voter exhibition exercise. It ended yesterday, and I took time also whilst in the constituency to check my name, and also to encourage more people to do so. But one thing is clear: the irregularities are just confounding. I mean, it is very difficult for me personally, based on what I have seen, to accept that they are genuine mistakes. Yes, we know a voter register is usually exhibited because of the anticipation that certain things may have gone wrong. And as a result of the exhibition, together as stakeholders, we correct those things. But when you see some of the mistakes, and they are so, they are just unreasonable. You cannot ascribe them to, genuine faults. For example, if we all are told that transfers cannot happen in the absence of the people seeking the transfer, how then do you explain to me that it is a genuine fault when you have droves of people from one polling station or from one constituency being transferred to another constituency without the notice of the people, without the people showing up and requesting to be transferred? And it just doesn't happen in one constituency or at one polling station. It becomes, difficult for you to convince me that this is a genuine mistake. And Randy, especially so when around the time of the registration, we, due to our vigilance in our various constituencies, in my constituency, for example, I had to intervene to save a lady who was almost lynched because she had gotten a bus, went to pick ladies, young women who were being trained for hairdressing and sewing, and assured them that she had jobs for them in Techiman, and that she was taking them to Techiman to transfer their votes, and then she will give them the jobs there. When she was heckled, she said no, she's an NDC person, and the Techiman MP is the brother, and so she's seeking to transfer these people to help her brother. When we investigated, it turned out that nobody knew her. So it was a deliberate, a political, strategy, in my view, just to transfer people from our strongholds to areas where they will not have the opportunity to vote on voting day. Because they know that given an election today, many of those people will vote for the NDC and against the NDC. And so the only way to reduce the NDC numbers in our strongholds is to transfer these people out of their, area of abode and return them to their area of abode without any plan to transfer them again or to transport them again on election day to vote. So it is the reason why we are seeing these mass transfers of people who did not request for transfers. And I think it is a political strategy to just waste and spoil the votes of the NDC. And I think that the request by the election director to meet with the party in general, to meet with the Electoral Commission on these discrepancies is a very, very legitimate
So I've seen this letter,
call.
This letter dated Monday, the 26th of August, is signed by the Honorable Fifi Fiavikwete, who was the General Secretary of the party, and it's addressed to the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Request for an important emergency meeting with your team over the 2024 voter exhibition exercise. And it reads, we bring you greetings from the NDC party headquarters Accra and trust that this letter finds you well. We write to request for an important emergency meeting with you and your team to discuss very serious discrepancies discovered during the ongoing 2024 voter exhibition exercise. The discrepancies emanate from analysis of the provisional voter register, PVR given to us by the Commission, and registers being exhibited at the centers. We anticipate a favorable and timely response as we work towards free, fair, and transparent elections. Are you aware if the EC has responded to this letter?
No, not us at this
However,
moment.
you are a member of Parliament.
Yes.
On the 18th of April,
yeah,
this year, 2024,
yeah,
your General Secretary wrote to the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Parliament House.
Yeah.
And the letter is titled Missing Biometric Verification Devices and Components of Biometric Verification Registration Kits at the Electoral Commission. And it says, following the revelations from Parliament by the Minority Leader, Honorable Kisela Tuforsen, about missing biometric verification devices, BVDs, and biometric verification registration kits, BVR case, and the subsequent interest it generated in the public and social media space, the Functional Executive Committee of the party decided to probe the matter a bit deeper in order to unearth the truth about the matter. FEC's involvement in the fray and the subsequent admission by the EC chairperson at the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting on the 9th of April 2024 that the biometric equipment were indeed stolen culminated in a major press conference by the party on the 15th of April 2024. At its meeting on the 16th of April 2024, FEC again deliberated extensively on the missing equipment, especially on the effect this could have on the December general elections. FEC therefore agreed to refer the matter to your August office and to respectfully request your assistance in investigating the matter further. FEC is also ready to provide a technical IT team to assist in the investigations. It's our hope that with the collaboration of the General Secretary of the NDC and the Minority Caucus in Parliament, you thoroughly investigate the matter to bring a closure to the matter and to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election in December 2024. Please accept our assurances of the highest esteem. Now, I go back to this letter in view of what has happened subsequently, and the arrest that was even made last week. What happened to this letter to the Speaker?
Well, Randy,
April 18th.
Randy, like you rightly indicated, it was written to the Speaker. And so it will be very difficult for me to
because you are in Parliament,
explain what has happened since. But you see, this matter, it's a very, very, very serious matter, Randy. The fact that these BVRs were reported missing after the EC were found out, and we must take note of that, the EC was found out to be hiding news of its absence. Remember, it was Parliament, through its oversight, engaging with the Electoral Commission, that got the Electoral Commission to, for the first time, publicly admit that these machines were indeed not in their possession anymore, and they could not explain how they were stolen, according to subsequent reports from the EC. Randy, some of us have had information that these machines were not stolen at all, and that even if they were stolen, they were staged to be stolen, and that some state agencies were involved in the, staging of the robbery of the Electoral Commission for a certain purpose. So it didn't come to some of us as a surprise when one of those machines were found with, was found with an individual only a couple of weeks ago. It didn't come to our surprise at all. Now, it is also important that we don't miss the fact that this machine was found with an NPP, polling station executive. And he claimed it was given to him by one Ali Farouk or Farouk Ali. We have to, insist that the police who was invited to get involved with this matter, they do a very thorough job of finding out how this gentleman came to have this machine, with him, and what he has so far used that machine for. Randy, on the call of Parliament to set up, an investigation into this matter, I do not know how the Speaker treated this letter from the NDC party when it was written to him. But I agree with those who think that Parliament can do a lot when it comes to ensuring the integrity of the register that we will be using for the 2024 general elections. I think that if you check the records, you would have noticed that Parliament has already done a lot when it comes to, asking the right questions and demanding accountability from the Electoral Commission and ensuring that, the Electoral Commission feet is brought closer to the fire of accountability. But yes, there's still room for Parliament to do so much more. But when it comes to investigating serious matters such as the missing BVR machines, Randy, I hold a completely different view. I hold a completely different view. I do not think that I am comforted by other investigations that Parliament has undertaken in the past to think that an investigation into this will lead anywhere. Randy, you remember the Boachi Agyako investigation? What came out of it? The cash for seats investigation in Parliament. What came out of it? The IGP leak tape. What has come out of it? The customers of collapsed banks. Parliament has undertaken a number of investigations of very important issues in this country, and I am not comforted enough that the works that Parliament did in these important issues really resulted in any significant changes. And so if we want an investigation that will lead to significant improvement of the EC's activities and the register that will be used for the 2024 general elections, I think we must be seeking to go beyond Parliament. I was very excited when I listened to the election director, Dr. Omani Boama, the other day on Newsfile. And he indicated, for example, that he was going to file an RTI, right to information, request to get more information on this matter. And also intimated that there was a need for a forensic audit to be conducted on the voter register. I do not think Parliament has the capacity to do that forensic audit. I mean, Randy, you are in this country. Remember, before we moved from, we moved to biometric voter register. Look at the stakeholder engagements that took place and resulted in a movement and a pressure that eventually compelled government and influence, if you like, our foreign partners to even make money available for the biometric register to be compiled. I think it is that kind of civil society movement that we need if we all care about the integrity of the register that will be used for the 2024 elections. And I think we should all care about it because it stands between a peaceful general election and one that can result in civil disturbances that we all don't pray for. A credible voter register stands between a peaceful general election and one that will lead to civil disobedience that we do not all, want to have on our hands. And that is why it is important that we galvanize forces and link up with the necessary civil society organizations to bring pressure to bear not only on our government, but also on, foreign partners who have interest in Ghana to understand how important a forensic audit is. A forensic audit not only on the register of the Electoral Commission, but also on the IT establishment. The entire IT establishment of the Electoral Commission need to be audited to give all of us the assurance that nothing untoward is at play. Randy, And it is especially crucial because of the appointments that have been made to the Electoral Commission, and especially to the IT department of the Electoral Commission. Very known political activists have been appointed to, the EC and to that specific department. And so when you begin to have the level of discrepancies that we are seeing after the voter exhibition exercise, I do not think that it is enough for us to think that our comfort will come from a mere parliamentary investigation. Especially so when parliamentary investigations in the past, like I have given examples, have yielded very little results. We do not have that time and the luxury to depend on only a parliamentary investigation. I think that like it happened before we introduce a biometric register in this country, we must, organize around all civil society organizations who have interest in a peaceful election in this country. And I think even if we do it well, when it becomes necessary, our development partners who also have a stake in our peaceful country will be willing to make money available if we say we do not have the money as a country to conduct that forensic audit of the register and the IT, setup of the Electoral Commission, and by extension, the activities of the Electoral Commission in general. And I'm sure such an audit will assure all of us of the neutrality of the Electoral Commission, and we will go into the election very confident that the one that will be elected will truly be the choice of the people of Ghana. And Randy, people are very skeptical. You go on the streets today, you are campaigning. People even meet you sometimes. You are not campaigning in the bus. I mean, at the airport, at the transport station. And what is very common on the lips of people is always that, Charlie, you guys must protect our votes. Because they do not have confidence in the system that their votes will truly, or the votes that will be declared will truly represent the choices that the people were making at the polls. And so, Randy, let's not treat this matter, lightly at all. It is a very, very serious matter. And I think that Parliament in the past and the investigations that they have conducted have not given me the comfort and the confidence that it will do a good job on this matter. We must go beyond Parliament. But even as I say this, I do not know what the Speaker has done with the letter that was written to him requesting for this bipartisan investigation into the matter. You also know that there are a number of other motions on very important issues, like the killing of the 8 people during the last elections, and many other very serious issues, like the storming of Parliament itself by the military. Motions that are still on the order paper since the life of this Parliament began, that has not seen the light of day because of the excessive partisanship in the House. Those motions continue to be on the order paper, but never get moved, and the committees to carry out those investigations are never fully composed. So I think we must go beyond Parliament and engage the very key stakeholders we have in this election to seek the necessary support that is required for this audit to be done to assure all of us that nothing untoward is happening at the Electoral Commission, Randy.
Ernest, let me bring you in. On
Thank you, Randy.
Yes. I'm sure you've been following the issue with respect to the register and the Electoral Commission.
Yes, we have. I'll still extend my greetings once again to you, to my brother Suhini, and all our viewers from all over the world. Randy, this register issue, I have always said on several platforms that I don't like speaking for state institutions because they are set up to perform certain specific functions, and the best people to speak to those functions and their activities, the kind of things they are doing, are they themselves. I always get drawn into it when you make a statement as though the MPP as a party that I'm sitting here representing is trying to use the EC to do something untoward. We have both the MPP and the NDC, I mean, have both been in power. If MPP completes this term, then we would have both done, I think, 16 under the Fourth Republic. And so I don't want to believe the NDC is trying to tell the people of Ghana that when they were in power, they tried to use the EC to do things that are not proper, or to use the EC to manipulate or attempt to manipulate the elections. And for that matter, they believe that when they are not in power, whoever is in power will attempt to do so. With issues of BVRs being missing, we are all in Ghana, the NDC, the MPP, and I said all because I want to include every Ghanaian everywhere. Ghanaians are so much interested in the peace of this country. So this country must always thrive, survive. We have been through worse. We've been through military coups. We've been through extreme situations in this country. And there are so many military governments over the past. And Ghanaians have an experience. The younger ones may not have. People from my age downwards may not have had too much of an experience. But you will realize that Ghanaians have seen something before. They've seen how gruesome coups and the attempt of the military to bring order in their sense, in the sense of a military order, how they have attempted to do so, the extremes that came with it. So nobody will want to see any such thing. Beyond that, we have also seen the way our neighbors, look at what happened in Côte d'Ivoire and other places, just as a result of somebody thinking that he might have won an election, or he has somebody has cheated him, or there is something going on that is not right. And anytime I hear our brothers within the NDC sounding like there will be chaos, there will be war, and my brother Suhini has spoken so well, so well, until he started mentioning the mantra of social disturbance and civil disobedience and things that, you see, end up gingering and attempting to put some fear and panic into the people of Ghana. We already know, since 1992, anytime there is going to be an election, people are sitting on tenterhooks. People, somewhere along the line, it nearly became an industry, where when we are getting into an election, you will hear people, peace this, peace that, this committee seeking for peace. People are writing all over the world, asking the donor community and things for money to keep peace in Ghana. We have survived all these times, all through these elections. And the NDC hasn't taken that advice from Afarijan. If we vote at the polling station, and the vote is counted at the polling station and declared at the polling station, and Metro picks, original TV picks, whichever organization, media organization in this country picks and announces, it's finished. So if anybody believes that anything is happening, and I will commend the letter, until you mentioned it, I haven't even seen that there was a letter to the EC. But I'll comment things like that. There is a letter to the EC telling them we have done this, we've seen this, we've seen that, we've seen that. And for that matter, we request an urgent meeting. Instead of throwing it into the public as though somebody is doing something crazy and you are putting your people at the edge of their seats. Their teeth is at edge. People are ready to pick arms, if anything. And that is not helping anybody, not even you yourself. If you even win election and there is war after the election, how are you going to rule? How are you going to manage the country if you have even set all the stage for trouble and then the trouble starts and you end up winning? The MPP as a party has had cause to raise issues about processes of election over the period. And we have found our own ways of solving it. When I say our own ways, I don't mean the MPP, but as a country, MPP said, oh, we had opaque ballot boxes, right? And there were issues about it. It came to the transparent one. We had photoless ID card, came to photo that is black and white, came to color. We have always raised issues about processes of election. It's not only the NDC raising issues, but when you begin to beat the war drums, it becomes a different thing altogether. And one simple, reckless statement from somebody will turn us into what Rwanda had. And I don't believe even the Rwandese, I believe they've learned a lesson from that. And we shouldn't wait for our words to bring these problems to us before we begin to correct it. I will make a special appeal to the NDC. They will be on the right path. If they raise issues, they will be on the right path. If they say, easy, we want this solution, we want this solution, we want this solution. He mentioned a lady who was nearly lynched. That will not be the situation. Fortunately, the MP is there. He saved him. He saved her. The processes should be followed. If she is doing the wrong thing, let us use the security system. Let us use the law. We have all agreed that the rule of law should prevail in Ghana. Is that not so? Yeah, that's what we have all agreed on. And so, I mean, when issues begin to come up on something that is not right, I always say it is good.
Should we all, I mean, in line with what you're saying,
yeah,
should we all not be interested in the EC and how the EC addresses these issues in order to give us all that needed comfort? I'm saying this because if you look at even the case of this machines and all that, the EC has been so inconsistent in terms of its responses. What the EC told us first, they later on had to tell us something else. When this guy was arrested, they had to tell us a different story. Now, when you sit back and you even analyze the EC's own posturing and its response to some of these things, it then doesn't give you that comfort. That is the constitutional body expected to be impartial and to work in the interest of everybody.
So Randy, you just
shouldn't we be interested in the fact that they ought to do better than they are doing? They ought to do things differently. They ought to engender confidence. But you cannot have an EC that flip-flops in terms of its responses to issues.
So you heard me.
Because it only fits into a certain narrative, assuming that that narrative is even wrong. Your conduct then feeds into that narrative.
So you simply just heard me agree with whoever wrote the letter to them. Agree. Yes. I agree with using the processes. I agree with using the rule of law and the processes of our legal jurisprudence within this country to address the issues. What I am speaking against is the beating of war drums. That's all I have a problem with. But we are people, we are all interested. Do you think that I don't believe that if the MPP should also be on the other side and certain things are happening that they are not comfortable with? What issues have been the MPP raised over the period? So I am also interested. You are interested. So when I said both, I changed to all, saying that even the ordinary man on the street, the person sitting down and watching us at the moment who is not interested in the day-to-day politicking that we are doing is interested. He wants a peaceful country. There's a businessman sitting somewhere that if this country should go into crisis today, he loses his investments and so many other things. Somebody will only lose his bag. But somebody has heavy investment in this country that he's interested in protecting. So he is not happy when he is hearing people talking about war, trouble, disturbance. That is not his interest. I have a country called Ghana. I don't have any. I don't believe that you are a dual citizen. I don't know. I don't want to believe. So you have only one to protect. And we shouldn't be happy when we are hearing people say we will go, we will do this.
I agree.
We shouldn't be happy.
I agree, but I prefer to look at root causes.
I agree with you symptoms. When you say, let us join for. When you go to, there's been situations. I remember, I think when there was the registration or something, EC brought certain rules. The MPP agreed and said, no, we don't agree with rule A, B, C, D. I think recently when we were to do limited or so registration, the MPP came out and said, we also wish that it was done all over. So there are things we both agree on. But I am saying beating war drums is not the issue.
All right.
Randy, can I ask? Just a question. Just a question.
Yes, please ask.
I just want to find out from you why it is important that the Electoral Commission is impartial and its integrity is not in doubt in an election process. Why is it important for the EC to be impartial and to have integrity?
Randy, see,
so hold on to your answer. Hold on to your answer. Just take note of it. Don't
why do you think it's important?
Don't forget it. Just hold on.
I won't forget it.
We are fortunate to have the Director of Elections of the NDC, Dr. Manibuama, who also is always part of the interactions with the Electoral Commission as far as this matter is concerned. Good morning, Doc. Hello, Doc. Good morning. Okay. Dr. Manibuama, can you hear me? Okay. So I'm sure that the line dropped. We'll try and get him. So Ernest, if we can deal with this.
I thought Randy was going to call the EC to answer his question. I'll tell him. I'll tell you what. As an interested party, I'm not just an observer.
Yes,
I'm representing them. As an interested party, I will always say that the referee being neutral is key.
Why?
Because we have to have an election with good integrity.
If we don't
everybody
should believe. If we don't have an election, why is it important to have one with integrity? Why?
So that everybody will be satisfied.
Exactly. So if I tell you, answer my question. Because if everybody is not satisfied, what will happen?
There will be chaos.
If I say so, is that beating war?
No, what I am saying is that
is that beating war?
The election hasn't happened.
No, be honest.
We are in the process.
That's the point I am making, and that's what the NDC is making. That if there is no integrity, if the impartiality of the EC is not felt by all, and then the outcome, leads to chaos.
I want you to learn so that I have time to speak.
It is predicting the logical outcome.
Randy, from 1990,
the logical outcome.
Have you ever once heard any of the elections not being called to question? In 1992, the MPP said what?
You mean the results of the election?
The results of the election process.
Okay.
The 19, I just referenced we having an opaque ballot box. The MPP raised issues. We having a card for an ID. The MPP raised issues. It has been the MPP raised. I don't have a problem with anybody raising issues, but what I'm saying is that I think you just landed. I allowed you to land.
I just informed that we have Dr. Manibuama back on the line. Let's just speak with him and then we get back to the discussion. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Doc.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and trust you are also well.
By the special grace of God, I'm doing well. Now,
I thank God Almighty.
Now, I've seen a post that you've put out, and your party is asking for a forensic audit. I am aware that your party wrote a letter to Parliament in April, I think specifically 18th of April, recounting some events, especially with, I get confused, BVR, BVD, BVK, BV, whatever, raising all those issues. And then subsequently, we've had responses from the EC. I think there's been about 3 different responses on this particular issue. Now, with the exhibition of the register, you also raised issues about timelines given by the EC and the fact that those timelines were never met until you got it the last minute. And you have also written another letter citing some discrepancies. We've heard stories, Honorable Suini has told us about what happened in Tamale, where some votes were transferred to another place without the knowledge of those persons. And it was not just 1 or 2 people, but in excess of 20. And you also claim that there are many of these issues in other places. And that's the reason why you've written for a meeting with the EC. I want to find out, first of all, what happened to that letter to Parliament and your engagements with the EC. And of course, this letter to the EC, has the EC responded to you?
Loaded questions. Let me pick it from what happened to our letter to Parliament.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Parliament has not given us a response. So since April, the situation is that Parliament, to the best of our knowledge, Parliament has not acted on it. And this letter was addressed to the Speaker of Parliament on the 18th of April. We will be very, very pleased if the august House of Parliament will prioritize the importance of a credible Electoral Commission system, including the register, so that Parliament will institute the appropriate investigation. Unfortunately, because this investigation was not taken up by Parliament, it has led to complications. You recall the letter was written in April. The EC has gone ahead since then to conduct registrations. We believe that if an investigation had been done, some of these challenges that the Electoral Commission is facing may even have been identified. That is not to hold brief for the Electoral Commission for the terrible state of affairs that we have seen, and I'll come to that. So we are pleading with the august House of Parliament to prioritize a need for credible register and also the need for credible EC system. Because let's face it, the Electoral Commission is a security zone. And in fact, under the present dispensation, the Electoral Commission has had heavy military presence. For those of you who see us when we go for IPAC meetings, you sometimes see military people providing protection for some top officials of the Electoral Commission. This means that in terms of security, this particular administration of the Electoral Commission has had accentuated security. And so it beggars belief how biometric verification equipment could have been stolen. But that is the BVD. Let's put that aside. The BVR, the Electoral Commission itself confirms that they were stolen their headquarters. Dr. Abbey, the Electoral Commission headquarters is under 24-hour CCTV surveillance. It also has state security manning the place. How should this happen? If somebody has been able to steal biometric voter registration laptops, it means that the person had a certain access to the EC infrastructure. As we speak, we know the extent to which the EC IT system, as for the hardware, we know some have already been stolen. But what has happened to the soft side of it? Manipulation that may even be beyond the comprehension of the Electoral Commission. Is it the reason the EC itself is at this stage confused in this exhibition exercise? And why do I say the EC is confused? Randy, Honorable Suhini is an MP. He will confirm that the registers that we, the NDC, forwarded to the constituencies on pen drives, they are at variance with what the Electoral Commission is exhibiting at the exhibition centers.
Really?
Yes. And so you ask yourself, and I'm going to give you a shocker.
Yes.
You ask yourself, how come we will have a situation where the same Electoral Commission provided NDC with the hard drive. And we have even moved on regarding the postponement and the delays and all those, because we want to look forward. The election is basically 3 clear months away. So we want to move forward to solve the problem. So how come the Electoral Commission will provide the NDC with the hard drive that contains the entire register? And then we worked very hard because the Electoral Commission was very, very unfair to the NDC. We got the register less than 24 hours to the commencement of the exhibition exercise. But we worked very hard to get them to the constituencies. How come we do not have consistency? If it is about it being a composite register that is being exhibited, it should be composite. If it is disaggregated, it should be so. In this case, the anomalies other on several fronts, and I have listed them. One, you have people who go and they don't even find their names in the register at all. You have qualified voters who have been placed on the multiple list. That is, they did a multiple registration when they have not done multiple registration. You have people who actually engage in multiple registration or whose registrations were challenged successfully but are found on the register. You also have, and a very dangerous one, old transfers that were done in previous elections. The people did not transfer their votes in 2024, and their names are found on the transfer list. And talking about transfers, let me give you the shocker. Honorable Suhini, if you have spoken to our honorable minority leader, Dr. Kessiel Atufosun, he may have informed you that yesterday it was revealed in his constituency that about 2,000 people have been transferred out of the constituency, and about the same 2,000 to about 3,000 had been transferred into his constituency. Can you imagine this? And within these transfers, they also, and thanks to Atos vigilance, he says, Doc, I keep my records. So I have the previous transfers. Some of the previous transfers are contained in these transfers. Look, how can this be tolerated in a democracy when we only have September, October, November to an election? 3 clear months. The other category are people whose polling stations have been changed. Assuming the Electoral Commission had given the register to us on time, we would have been able to identify it and have informed them that, oh, your polling station has been changed to place A, B, or C. Because the Commission itself reneged on their promise. They had promised to give it to us as far back as July. But that was when they wrote the letter. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And even the August date, it was still shifted. One would have thought that the delays were for them to have perfected the system. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I come to a category which cannot be proven in this exhibition, but it's a very dangerous category, and that category is during the period when people applied for Proxy. Do you know that contrary to practice, in a number of places, biometrics of those who were applying for the Proxy were not taken?
They were not taken.
They were not taken. And we have raised this issue at IPAC more than 2 months ago. Till date, the EC has not taken action on it. Our study of the register, since they gave it to us alone, we have identified 50,000 dead people on the register. We are still picking out the dead people. When you allow for proxies to be applied for without taking biometrics, you are entertaining the possibility of people voting for dead people in future. Look, we call for a full-scale investigation, and our preference is for Parliament to do it. We are not saying that Parliament has all the technical wherewithal to prosecute that investigation, but Parliament can co-opt. Parliament can bring on board technical expertise. If Parliament fails us, as Parliament has failed us since April, then our second line of action is to ask the international community, UNDP, ECOWAS, AU, USAID, and the rest, to step in. Already, they've stepped in, they are engaging us behind the scenes and all. They should step in and ensure a full-scale forensic audit of the EC's register and also its IT systems. Because the kind of discrepancies that we are seeing are not discrepancies that mere exhibition will be able to address.
Has the EC responded to your 26th of August letter?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. Even though we demonstrated that, look, we have an urgent and important matter to be discussed, and particularly as the EC itself failed to provide the registers to us ahead of the election and only provided it less than 12 hours to the exhibition exercise. Ahead of the exhibition exercise, only less than 12 hours to the exhibition exercise, one would have thought that they would have prioritized this request for a meeting. We hope they are not thinking that they will be calling us to come for adjudication, so that we will use adjudication to address this plethora of discrepancies that we have seen. Look, let me put Honorable Atofosin's case on the back burner for now. Honorable Sunyini, as you said, right in their adjoining constituencies, we've all seen what has happened. But Randy, you know what? We are tempted to believe, and the temptation is very, very strong, that the Electoral Commission did not expect the NDC to have dissected the register as we have done. Because let's face it, and I've been told by some MPs that in fact we've not really, in the years past, paid detailed attention to the exhibition. Can we imagine if we did not? And Ghanaians report on December 7th to their known polling stations, and then somebody is intending to vote in and around Aitamale, and the person's vote is not there, and it's in Upper East. Can we imagine the security implications?
Well, but some might say that that is the essence of the exhibition.
That is very true. It's the essence of the exhibition. But let me show you something. When you go to Kolebu, there is a morgue, the mortuary, and there are also the wards. There are problems that only the morgue can resolve. And there are problems that can be resolved on the wards. It is the same hospital. We are saying that the tools available to resolve these heavy discrepancies that we have unearthed, mere exhibition cannot address it. Because, look, didn't we have agents during the registration? We had agents there. Didn't we have agents during the transfers? And even when the EC deliberately sacked us from the registration centers and we insisted that our agents stay there, with all the agents observing the processes and all, who would have expected that we were going to see this kind of problem? We expect the kind of challenges to be solved by exhibition to be wrong spelling of names, date of birth, maybe tests that are not well aligned. Sometimes there are even some people whose names are on the multiple register who actually did not register double, and I will explain. When you look at those multiple registrations, you will realize that the two photos, the person is wearing the same attire, and the registration may just be about 30 minutes interval. In that case, the judgment, the value judgment is that it's possible the network went down, and so the picture had already been captured. But then when the network was restored, in trying to do the registration again, the person who was registering did not realize that the earlier registration had gone through. So some of these things, it's not everybody whose name is on the multiple register that when we go for adjudication, we just say that no, because you're on the multiple register, no. We look at the evidence and the context and everything. Some of these things can be addressed by the exhibition. But when you have a case where somebody went round to collect ID cards, the person has been arrested, and then you realize that subsequent to that, there have been transfers to a different region. That is more than what exhibition can address. There must be some insider dealing. When you have a case where biometric voter registration equipment have been stolen from the headquarters of the Electoral Commission of Ghana under CCTV surveillance with military and police protection, and we have always insisted that if somebody is able to steal these things in this high security zone, it means that the person or that group of thieves can interfere with the system. And we have such massive dislodgement of the database. We cannot just be relying on exhibition. That will mean trying to cure cancer with an anti-malaria drug. It will not work. So yes, exhibition is supposed to address minor challenges and some major challenges. But what we are talking about are mega challenges, or if I should say, terror challenges that mere exhibition cannot address.
So, Doc, it's been 48 hours since you wrote to the EC. What will be your next step? Are you engaging the other members of IPAC? Have you engaged some of the parties? Do they share the concerns you have?
We have engaged some of the parties, and some of them are equally worried about the integrity of the register. But in terms of our next steps, I would say, let us hold that very close to our chest. Ghanaians, we are just saying that we are a peace-loving country. We are a peace-loving party. Our leader and flag bearer, President John Dramani Mahama, everybody knows him, his demeanor, his pedigree. Peace-loving person. Handed over power to the MPP in 2016. We have a situation where the sitting president had been going around indicating who he wants to hand over to, subverting the sovereign will of Ghanaians, the power to determine who governs us. And we know the MPP also professing that they are going to use strategy to win this election. And to put the Electoral Commission in context, we know the antecedents of the people who occupy higher echelons of the Electoral Commission today and the circumstances that led to their occupying those high positions. And we know how some partisan appointments have been made. MPP communicators who have been appointed to serve on the commission and all. When you put all this together, you only arrive at a toxic tincture that must be exorcised. And we maintain that the Electoral Commission of Ghana must face serious investigation ahead of the election. Every peace-loving Ghanaian, every peace-loving institution, the clergy, traditional leaders, political parties, journalists, voters, we expect everybody to join in this noble and patriotic call for the Electoral Commission to open the system up if they have nothing to hide. In any case, this will not be the first time. In the year 2012, the Venerable Dr. Kojo Afarijan, under the NDC administration, when the MPP had paused to call for an audit of the register, Dr. Kojo Afarijan allowed it. Why won't the Electoral Commission allow it? Why won't the MPP be supporting this call for a forensic audit when there is a precedence? And in fact, if you relate the kind of discrepancies that we are talking about in 2024 to the discrepancies that we saw 12 years ago, then what was happening 12 years ago was child's play. But in the name of transparency, to give assurance to all stakeholders that President Mahama is a believer in democracy, that the Electoral Commission is independent, Dr. Kojo Afarijan opened the doors of the Electoral Commission for the register to be audited. Not that we have not raised the need for investigations into the register at IPAC. We have. Because as a parliament was failing us, we were also pushing at the level of IPAC. In fact, concerning the Electoral Commission's weakness, even in IT, I personally suggested that IPAC, and the development partners were there, US, UK, CSO, CDD was there. I suggested that, look, let's contact UNDP for UNDP provide a technical support. Till date, the Electoral Commission has not acted on it. So it is very clear that they are satisfied with the state of nature that is prevailing at the Electoral Commission. They are satisfied with the discrepancies in a mistaken belief that NDC will not have dissected the register, particularly as it was given to us less than 24 hours to the registration exercise. But we are a determined people. We shall not rest. We shall not falter. We shall not relent in ensuring that we secure a free, fair, and transparent election on December 7, 2024. This country is bleeding. We will not allow an election that is compromised, even ahead of the December 7 polls, to elect the wrong person. We all believe in peace. Let's all abide by the tenets of free and fair and transparent elections.
Okay, so Doc, just before I let you go, in the course of our conversation, I've got some messages, but there are three of them that I want to read out to you. The first one says that I applied for a proxy at the EC's municipal office in Koko. A form was filled for me to sign. A copy of the form was given to substitute, and that was it. My biometrics were not taken. This means an unscrupulous electoral officer can manipulate the proxy exercise to one party's advantage. That's the first one. Now, the second one, which is from Samuel East Legon Hills, says that what Dr. Manibuama is saying is very true. For example, when I went to verify my details a few days ago, I realized that my photograph on the register was one that I had used for a previous registration in 2012, which is different from the photograph on my current voter ID card. How is that possible? And then there's one more I saw which had to do with yes, this one. And he has even given us the details. He says that a friend informed me that his wife, who voted in the 2020 elections at Wurishe, Al-Badal, I hope I got it right, could not find her name when they checked the voter register. He decided to check online, and that's when he found it at Nanton. If issues like this are not addressed, there could be significant chaos on election day. And so he's giving us the details of what they saw when they checked online. So the person's name is here, all the details are here. They've given the polling station name, district as Nanton, constituency as Nanton. However, he says that's not where the lady voted in 2020, and she's not applied for a transfer.
Randy.
Yes.
I maintain that mere exhibition cannot address the challenges that we have identified. And I'm glad we are hearing evidence. And you see, my worry is that we have been proactive. We told the EC that your staff did not take biometrics in many places when proxies were applied. To date, they haven't done anything about it. And we told them this more than 6 weeks ago. And Randy, I encourage you to call them because they speak on radio and TV.
We're trying to reach them on this.
Please call them so that if they have any contrary information, they can share. Call them. If I personally did not raise the need for them to even sort out this lack of biometrics in the proxy applications. At that time, our numbers of dead people had not reached 50,000. It was 4,000. And at that time, we had only studied 30,000 of the voters. Out of 30,000, we had seen 4,000 dead people. As we speak, we have identified 50,000 dead people. And by the time the identification of dead people is over, I don't want to go into the estimate that we are looking at. It's very large. And so when you do biometrics, without taking proxy, without taking a biometrics, either you deliberately want to open a loophole for political chicanery, for rigging to take place.
So Doc, what do you say to those who say that on voting day, your biometrics will have to be taken for you to vote? So even if they didn't do it during the proxy thing, it can be rectified on voting day.
Randy, I wish it was that simple. Let me link this question to the lost BVDs. Initially, the Electoral Commission did not accept. They eventually came to accept. Only during this exhibition, NDC, we arrested somebody in Nsawam holding the Electoral Commission of Ghana's BVD. Assuming that BVD was not arrested, and there are many more of those BVDs roaming around, the Electoral Commission places what is missing or stolen at around 20 something, but it's more than that. So assuming that BVD was in the hands of the MPP, in Nsawam, If somebody is able to steal a BVD, you know that having access to SD card, which will contain the voters register, will be very easy. People are able to swap ballot boxes. You have heard of that. BVD is a very small gadget compared to a ballot box. So swapping of BVD itself can compromise a verification. But let's put that aside. When you compromise a verification and you are not able to verify somebody, knowing very well that this is the scheme that you have put in place, you want somebody who is actually not that person to be able to vote. They compromise a verification and then they say, let's do manual verification. So they do manual verification, and that one is a paper and pen. So we have told our polling agents, and we have started training our polling agents, that the moment you see manual verification go beyond 2, alert your supervisor and let us begin to look into why that particular polling station is beginning to see manual verification go beyond 2. So this Proxy and not aligning it with biometric verification is a recipe for rigging. Particularly as we now have evidence that EC's own BVDs are in the hands of criminals. And then the EC comes to tell us that it is of no effect. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they say it will take the collusion of an EC officer to make it work.
But Randy, doesn't it take the collusion of an EC officer to be able to steal the BVD?
Or maybe the thieves acted on their own.
So where did they steal them from? The BVR equipment that were stolen from the headquarters of the Electoral Commission under CCTV surveillance with military and police presence. Wouldn't it take the collusion of EC official? And if laptops can be stolen, is it SD card? Maybe SD card, you can put it in your wallet. You can put it in your back pocket.
Like your voter ID card.
Very good. So if somebody can steal BVD machine, somebody can steal biometric voter registration equipment, is it SD card that the person cannot steal? And you see, when our Electoral Commission, once revered Electoral Commission, espouses such, permit my saying, I don't want to say ignorant, lack of appreciation.
Well, you said it.
Expresses this lack of appreciation of the nuances of the electoral process and how people can take advantage of the cyber aspect of it, we cringe and we get very, very worried about the future of our democracy. Look, as our national chairman said, the Peace Council should be interested in such matters. And I'm glad the Catholic Bishops' Conference, I'm glad notable civil society organizations are all asking the nation to listen to what the NDC is saying. Randy, Parliament has the last opportunity to salvage our democracy. If they don't do it, we are going to put it in the hands of foreigners to salvage our democracy for us. Parliament has had the opportunity since April this year. I'm very sad about this.
All right, Doc, let's hope that it's been 48 hours. Let's hope that maybe by close of day, you would get a response from the EC and we can take it up from there. But of course, I think that the Peace Council and all those organizations that are interested in peace, I mean, yes, it's okay to sign peace pacts, but they ought to also get involved when there are issues like this. So at least we can have a forum where these things are straightened out. If the NDC's issues are without basis, it will be established and we all know, and we can move on. If indeed they have basis, and of course this can disturb the peace, then there's no point in signing a pact when the things that will create the problems, for which reason you are signing the pact, are not addressed. So let's hope that maybe in the next day also we'll be able to have some firm responses. We're also trying to reach the EC to speak to us on this issue. Thanks, Doc, for your time this morning.
Grateful for the opportunity too.
All right.
And best wishes.
Okay. All right. So that's Dr. Manibuama, former Minister of Communications, who's the Director of Elections for the NDC. We'll be back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She's pleased. But now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains the new fleet-finding darts are more accurate than the old ones. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't automated your fleet management yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third-party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Choose the perfect prize for you every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes, all to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Using Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture, brought to you by Coa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Coa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Coa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Coa MT Mixture. Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Coa MT Mixture. Choose Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244-726611 or 0591-565-778. This advert is
anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Repacho Bantama.
Matese. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Gidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa.
Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get back packing so you have to come. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck. We'll ready. We are star 712. It's your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for adults.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and bio.
With your body,
Hey,
never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompt and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Ernest Daddy and Alhaji Al-Hassan Suhini. But with Betway, you're guaranteed to get more chances to play. Betway Speak Your Prize lets you choose your preferred promotion to make the perfect sports bet every week, from payouts, boost to cashback. Plus, you also stand a chance to choose your own prize, from vouchers to electronics and a grand prize of an airline ticket. Visit betway.com.gh to find out more. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. You can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190, 055-001-0000. All right, Ernest. So we had Dr. Mani Buama on the issues with the EC. What do you make?
You know why I'm smiling?
Why?
It's the same thing I just said. I believe that this is not the first time the political parties have had issues with EC. The MPP has had this over the period. The NDC has, or still have problems with the EC. We have laid down rules, regulations, principles, the legal regime, everything that we need to ensure that these things are addressed. I have always said, you see, I was listening to him carefully until I gave a quote here that he made. And those things have always happened. Whenever issues are raised, like I said from the beginning, I'm not very comfortable having to be the spokesperson of the EC. I am not. But where we are trying to create issues and put them outside the processes of redress, that's where I have always, and I keep.
What will you consider as the processes?
The processes are laid down. You know it. Everybody listening to us knows it. They've written to
they've raised those issues at IPAC. They have not had a response. They have written to the EC. They've written to Parliament. And they say that even at IPAC, the issues were raised in the presence of the development partners. What else is in due process that they have not?
So here and now, this exercise ended yesterday, right?
The exhibition?
Yes.
Yes.
The exhibition. I was surprised when I heard issues of transfers and things, because in my opinion, we are doing the exhibition. The exhibition is supposed to highlight the challenges. To him, the challenges are not challenges that an exhibition could resolve. So you went further to inform the EC that, in your opinion, the exhibition cannot resolve this. I don't believe the exhibition couldn't have resolved this, but he may have information he wants to give to the people of Ghana why he believes that the exhibition couldn't resolve it. But in my opinion, if I checked, and my name is supposed to be in Adenta, and it is in Tamale, I indicate, and by the time the corrections come, it should be there. He is making allegations of mass, and made what I think came up in our conversation is where he even doesn't believe that he's parliamentarians in parliament. Now we have a hanged parliament, some 37 plus a speaker who, in our opinion, will lean more to the NDC than the MPP, and he's saying they have failed. They failed them. I believe that, if I will use a more serious word, these allegations, for me, if you want to put them outside the structures, then could be gaslighting for me, because elections are close. Let Ghanaians give you sympathy votes. Let Ghanaians think that somebody is twisting your arm to the extent that there is nothing you could do, but if they don't pity you, you are going to lose the election. It's one of the things that come into my mind as he spoke. Number two, I believe that we have played on the intelligence of Ghanaians using some of these things over the period, in the past. And Ghanaians could not be fooled any longer. We were here when the NDC said we were in a comfortable lead, when they actually knew that they were nowhere near a lead, nowhere near even being at par. They told the people of Ghana, we have won. Our supporters should get onto the streets and jump and make noise.
The issues they've raised have no basis.
I am not saying they have no basis. I said when you are trying to put it outside the structures and the means of resolving these matters, they call on the Peace Council, we have certain structures. Have we exhausted it and still we don't have results?
You heard him.
I heard a letter was written when? You read a letter that was written 2 days ago, right?
Monday, yes.
3 days ago.
But it says proud to that.
What I'm saying.
They raised the issues at IPAC.
You have raised an issue at IPAC.
They raised one of the issues as far back as April.
No, we are talking about the exhibitions, the challenges within the exhibitions now. I want us to dwell there.
No,
Because you haven't heard from the EC yet.
And the issue is that they are connected.
The issues of BVRs being missing, they have raised the issues. They are being addressed in whichever way, or they have been left, then you take action on that. I believe these things will go and go and go, as far as even going through SRAJ and taking legal action. It's happened within the EC's structure several times. So what I'm saying is, anytime any critical matter that the legal system is or the laid down principles is supposed to resolve, and if worst comes to the worst, use the legal system to solve it, and we throw it into the public domain for people, the information he's talking about, I don't even have it myself at my level.
Which information?
What he's saying that they found transfers and things, and I don't even have it. We haven't spoken. He actually said that if Suhini spoke to the minority leader, he would have had further information and all that. They seem to be speaking about the same thing anyway, because according to Suhini, he also had the same challenge in his area.
Yes.
So these are challenges that the exhibition, in my opinion, is supposed to highlight and then gets addressed. We haven't, the thing finished, we haven't had any report from the EC. I haven't heard from the EC, I haven't seen any of their reports yet. And then we jump to the street and jump to the media and raise issues. I'm not saying don't come and say your matter. I'm sitting here on the media talking about things that I believe should happen. But look, we have 100 days or so to election. Within these 100 days, I want to consistently focus on my manifesto promises and the things I believe Ghanaians should remember when they are in the box.
You don't have to focus on the credibility of the electoral roll.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have set up structures and we have set up rules to manage the structures. I've repeated this about the third time. The moment you jump outside the structure, if you go and you don't get results, like Let My Vote Count Alliance came up as a result of the fact that they believed that something is going wrong. There are so many ways of resolving it, but until we get there, I'm trying to run away from using the word gaslighting, because it makes you think that it makes people think that I don't believe that there are transfers or there are disparities on the register. That's not what I'm saying. There could be. That's why the exhibition was done. So if there is, 2 days after the thing ended, I might have gone there to tell the EC that somebody is dead. But I just said on TV, live TV, that there are dead people on the register. But why did we do the exhibition? To remove the dead people. Why don't you wait for the EC to attempt to remove the dead people? Then your dead people you found on the register, I know dead people who might be on the register as we speak. Should I come out and say that the EC is not doing the right thing? Because I don't want to speak for them. I want to put it in the public domain.
By the same due process, the EC is expected to give that list, the role, to the political parties ahead of time for the exhibition. And there's a reason why that is done. The EC itself gave timelines of when it was going to do that. The first 2 timelines were missed. The last one was also missed, and they had the register 12 hours and they were supposed to send this register to all their people. So there's a reason why you even are expected to give them the register ahead of time, so that if there were some issues, they could bring it to your attention even before the exhibition starts. That didn't happen.
Randy, could he have brought the dead people's issue before the attention of the EC before the exhibition happened? Could he have spoken?
Yes, he could.
How?
If he had had ample time, the same period that they used to identify.
Randy,
because he
somebody
says that
is dead in my house.
Just hold on.
And you want to exhibit the register for me to come and tell the EC that the person is dead.
Just hold on.
And before you exhibit the register, you are coming to tell me that people are dead. Didn't the EC know that people will be dead?
Just hold on.
That's why he
made. That's why I said there's a reason why the EC does not ask political parties to also go like you and I on the day of exhibition to go and check our names. Fortunately, I went to check my name, my wife and I. Everything was intact.
I checked mine. Yes. It was intact.
You know, however, there's a reason why this register is given to political parties ahead of time. And he said we could ask Honorable Suhini, and that whatever was given to them, which they submitted to their parties, and what was actually exhibited were substantially different. Is that what he said? That's true. And you confirmed that that was the case.
So he had raised.
Randy,
let me land on this.
Let him just land on it.
All right. All we are saying here, all of us, is that exhibition has been done. I don't want to mix the exhibition with the missing BVRs because it's been hanging over the period. And if he believes that the missing BVRs were used to do transfers, I want him to come
or
out
can
here.
be used.
No, were used. I mean, if that is his belief, that transfers were done, not because maybe the EC, whatever might have happened, but it is the missing BVRs and the other ones you mentioned that were used, then he should raise that matter. Otherwise,
didn't you hear him establish a correlation?
But he never established that is what has been used to do it.
Just listen to me for a moment. Didn't you hear him establish a correlation between proxies without biometrics and those missing equipments? Did you hear him establish a correlation?
I didn't hear him give me that direct.
Oh, really? I asked him a question and he answered.
I didn't hear him say directly that those machines were used to do the transfers.
No, were used.
That's what I'm driving.
Because you see, the election is a process. It's not an event.
So, Randy, you know what?
It's a process.
You know what?
Yes.
This is my position.
Okay.
Right.
That's why I said I am speaking to you.
Yes.
I am not. You are not speaking to the EC.
Yes.
My knowledge about this exercise is that we have done the exhibition.
Right.
To be able to identify mistakes, or whatever would have happened, and rectify it.
Right.
The thing ended 2 days ago. We haven't seen any report from the EC. We haven't been told that the dead people he is referencing currently are not going to be removed from the register after the exhibition.
Right.
Once we don't have that evidence yet, coming on TV to granting an interview to say there are dead people there is neither here nor there for me. Number two, coming at a time like this to say that we have identified challenges, not only dead people, we have identified challenges that are supposed to be addressed by the exhibition. And for that matter, we have exhibited the register. We would have spent money to do that. And we haven't gone to do the corrections yet. Because we have seen these things, it's a problem for the country, and the EC is not doing its work. I have a problem with that too. Okay. So after the exhibition, after everything, let us go do the corrections. I believe the MP who went there, who saw that his constituency had challenges, they would have raised it. The people whose names are not supposed to be there, if there is a dead person that his family hasn't come to remove it, we will get to know. But to sit on radio and say you have found dead people on the register, and for that matter, the EC hasn't done their work right. I'm not speaking for the EC, but I can question that position. Okay. Look, we have interviewed. I was happy. I wrote that I was going to call your attention to the fact that I would want to hear from the EC, because otherwise the program would have been what we call kashoko. The stomach will be bigger than the head. We have heard the allegations of the NDC. I wish I also hear from my party after the exercise. Then we will hear from the EC. And then when we hear from them, and these challenges, these issues that have been raised, there is no cure for them, then we all go to the next level. Otherwise, the peace of this country is very necessary. And gaslighting at this time would not be the issue.
All right.
Anna just ended on a note that is quite interesting. He says that the peace of this country is very necessary. I don't know if that amounts to beating of war drums. You remember the question I asked him earlier about why it is important to have an impartial and an Electoral Commission that exudes a lot of integrity. It is important because when that is absent, you cannot predict the reaction of people after an election, and that and if one says that one of the reactions can be civil disobedience, it is only a logical conclusion. It is not beating of war drums. But you see, Randy, this matter is so crucial, and there are a number of very curious issues that we need to look at. First of all, the EC did not report the missing biometric machines until they were found out by Parliament. It's important that we ask ourselves why didn't the EC let the country know about this very, crucial, equipment being stolen from their premises? It's important. It's also important that we understand that it cannot be for nothing that somebody will walk to the EC and steal this machine if he doesn't have use for it. It must be useful.
Motive.
There must be a motive for stealing it. It must be useful. And if the Electoral Commission tells us today, after we have found out that the machine is in the hands of a civilian, a political party agent, the EC tells us that the only way it can be useful is when there is a collusion between the person having the machine and an EC official. It tells us that, yes, there was motive for stealing the machine, and that motive can become a reality if there's collusion. And Randy, is the EC in its current setup? That's a question you ask yourself. In its current setup, is it possible for the MPP to have people within the EC that will be willing to, connive with their other officers outside? I mean, party officers outside. Is it possible? And I'm saying yes, because we have all seen the people who have been appointed to the EC. Political party communicators. What do you call it? Patrons of the party.
Still confirming what I just told.
No, so clearly, Randy, these are curious.
No,
Randy,
some challenges to our earlier allegations.
I am saying that nobody steals.
You are forcing her to link your earlier allegations with
that is
challenges that are being.
That is not useful to him. People wouldn't have stolen the machine if they didn't think that it will be useful. The EC itself has told us that that machine can be useful with collusion from an insider. And I'm saying, do we have people in the EC today who will have reason to collude with people outside in favor of the MPP? And yes, the answer is yes, because political party communicators and patrons of the MPP have been appointed to the EC. And so it is very important that we do not dismiss these curious things. And Randy, another significant matter you should not lose sight of is the fact that this voter register has been exhibited. We are all going to the polling stations. These reports that are coming from our people, the fact that, one, the register was given to us late, 12 hours before the exhibition. The fact that the register that was given to us is different from the register that is exhibited, significantly different, is known to both the NDC and the NPP. The fact that the transfers that are curious, transfers of people who did not request for transfers, are known to the MPP and they are known to the NDC. The proxy voters who were not biometrically verified but issued with proxy voter status is an issue known to the NDC and known to the MPP. The multiple registrants, which in some cases, Randy, let me explain to you how some of them happened. We had the offline registration and the online registration. There were times that the registration, they had difficulty with connectivity, and they asked people to register offline. And then when the register was exhibited after the first, limited registration exercise, we didn't find their names. We were told that it will be in the subsequent register. It wasn't there. In some cases, we're holding the people who didn't have, who registered offline, but didn't have their names on the register, their list, with the EC directors, and they were asking us to let them register again because the offline was not captured online. And this fact, Randy, is known to the NDC. It's also known to the MPP. So how come that it is only the NDC that is raising issues with it? How is the NPP so comfortable with these discrepancies? Why haven't they stated a position on these matters that are known to us and known to them? Because clearly the register we were given, unless they were given a different register, the register that we were given as a party are significantly different from the register that have been exhibited. So how come they are comfortable with that? So the transfers we are seeing, you have MPP candidates in Tamale South, you have MPP candidates in Tamale in Sanarbo, you have MPP candidates in Tamale North, And these transfers have happened there.
No,
the people are saying we did
telling
not
us that the numbers he saw were MPP transfers or NDC transfers.
So how come, and as I'm saying that, how come that the NDC is the only party that seems to be uncomfortable with these things and the MPP is not speaking?
How do you tell they are not?
Have you heard your party? We just read the letter of the General Secretary of the NDC. You have listened to the election director of the NDC. How come the NPP as a party is very comfortable with these discrepancies? But Randy, you see, I need to make this point, and I don't know how better to do it. Parliament may not have acted on the letter in the way that the NDC election directorate and others expected Parliament to act on it. But you see, we need to understand that Parliament is not a stumbling block. Parliament must be viewed always as an ally. And for example, in the case of the CI to Make Ghana card, you know, the only document that could be used for voter registration purpose, the entire Parliament came together, both the majority and the minority, to frustrate the Electoral Commission from having its way with that. Again, the issue of the machines being stolen at the Electoral Commission, it took Parliament to get the Electoral Commission to admit to those machines being missing. And so Parliament can be a very useful ally in ensuring that we get an electoral process that is satisfactory to all of us. But Randy, when I look at what we have gone through as a country, for example, activities and events that have led to, if you like, improvements in our electoral process, I want to believe that a different approach, rather than a focus on Parliament, will give us better and faster results when it comes to our call for the Electoral Commission to be audited. I think it is a very, very crucial call. It is an important one that must be adhered to. But I think that a different approach, rather than a focus on Parliament, will give us faster and better results. Remember what happened before the introduction of the biometric register. Even after the register was introduced, against even the Electoral Commissioner at the time's will, the parties outside, especially the New Patriotic Party, did not rest on their oars. They demanded biometric verification machines also, and did so in collaboration with other civil society organizations and stakeholders. So, Randy, I will urge that from today, we must begin to engage the other political parties our election director has spoken of, who are also in agreement that there's a need to audit the Electoral Commission. And if it becomes necessary for us to address the nation together as one group of political parties with the concerns that are, joint, and a call that is one, we must do so as soon as possible. Beyond that press conference, I think that coalition of political parties must begin to visit other civil society organizations and other key stakeholders, even including the Peace Council, to draw their attention to these discrepancies that we have noticed and the urgent need for an audit to be conducted on the Electoral Commission and especially the IT department of the EC. Beyond even engaging these civil society organizations and stakeholders, I think that with immediate effect, these parties must come together to also visit the diplomatic missions and development agencies, because they all have interest in a peaceful election exercise in this country, and let them know how these discrepancies can threaten the peace that we all are currently enjoying in this country, and how that can be averted if we carry out an audit of the Electoral Commission. I think that will give us better and faster results than focusing on Parliament, which, Ms. Randy, I have said in the beginning, in the past, have not actually done anything significant, even after they have carried out investigations like the cash for seeds and Wachijako and others. We have not seen any significant, changes in the way we do things after Parliament have carried out these investigations. It's important, yes, that Parliament is requested to intervene, like that request has been made. But if the response, unlike other responses, like I've talked about the BVR machines being discovered, like I've talked about standing in the way of the EC when they attempted to introduce the CI to make the Ghana card, if the response is not in sync with what was expected, I don't think that it should become a reason why Parliament should be viewed as a stumbling block. It must always it must always be viewed as an ally in this matter. But beyond that, let us move to the field. Let's organize among the political parties who share in our frustration, who share these discrepancies with us and think it can threaten our peace, and engage other civil society organizations and stakeholders and the diplomatic missions to ensure that we carry out a very necessary audit of the Electoral Commission before we go to the polls. I think that is what we should be doing now. Thank you.
So, Randy.
And as I give you just a minute on the specific issue of why, I'm sure that's what you wanted to address, why the MPP
it seemed to be comfortable with all these discrepancies.
That's not the only one. He's spoken for like 30 minutes.
Then I have to go.
I need to go. He's spoken like 30 minutes, and you will not let me address it. Then that will be wrong.
Oh, really? You have been speaking like for
Hold on. Please.
The MPP has not indicated to anybody that we are comfortable with the problems of the EC.
I gave you the opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
I did not cut you from speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not end your submissions. Exactly. You ended when you believed that you had finished.
No, that's okay. So you let me address the issue as you have indicated.
I am just giving you the opportunity to address that. Otherwise, if I give you the opportunity to address the issue that's raised, I would have to give him that opportunity too.
Randy,
and I don't have the time.
This is the issue. Yes. MPP has never indicated anywhere that challenges within the EC, we are comfortable with it. That is a wrong perception and a wrong adducement. Completely wrong. We have consistently raised issues that we are uncomfortable about with the EC since the inception of the Fourth Republic. So if you have seen something and you are raising it, what I just said is that the exercise had just finished. We haven't heard from the EC. The kind of things you are raising, in my opinion, are things that you want to tie into your earlier allegations of people being appointed and this. You want to tie in to give credibility to it. And that one is your issue. But, Randy, the NDC, this is not the first time they are raising issues. In fact, Omani Boama had just proven to us that they have problems with everybody, including their MPs. And if they have those issues, look.
So thanks for joining me.
Thank you for thanking us.
Thanks for joining
Except that I should have been given the opportunity.
No, you have
Randy, before we go, the EC, we are saying, Dr. Baumia says, deepen the digitalization process. And if you are using your Ghana card, 20 people will not have Ghana card, and 20 people will not be able to be put. We solve the problem.
Are you aware?
Deepen the digitalization process, and we are fine.
Are you aware that the National Education Authority says that it is trying to prosecute some people?
Yeah, I heard
hundreds of people who have who have done
but it is in the Act. The law says you cannot register twice.
I'm just saying that
the act of
there's nothing like a foolproof situation.
But it will be better than none.
I'm saying that
yes, it will be better than none. So if you register twice, then you are
the NIA Act is older than Dr. Baumia's vice presidency.
So what does it change? Does it change anything?
The design of the ballot.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She's pleased. But now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains the new fleet-finding darts or more accurate than the old ones. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't automated your fleet management yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Choose the perfect prize every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes. All to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oh you why? Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and the capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Yeah, we the brown crew. I'm a giant sow with the shelly bottom. No, when you need to say, you owe you chop one.
Give us heaven, give us heaven, give us heaven,
give us BC mixture and then a capsule.
I pay for a battle one more menu for one and Kwadawi if you do me.
The luckiest
Star 712 hash.
luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get that packing from your one line. Hey, wait.
You go put it on this tab. This is my man.
Good luck. Hey, yo, bill radio. We are star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let me choose buy tickets for adults.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you got to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and bio.
With your body,
Hey,
never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi.
No, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kriku Danso.
Yes, sir. We are still the political election season.
Some call it silly season.
Silly season. But if you call of it today, what will you call it tomorrow? So let's save some.
So tomorrow will be stupid. Today is silly, tomorrow is stupid.
That's not.
Maybe you should ask me that if I answer the question today, which answer
will you give tomorrow?
I won't have an answer.
That's what me too. Yesterday when I came for the trends, I said that if I say all yesterday, I won't get something to say today. Yes. So today I've come to say the rest. I'll save the rest.
So although you can say everything today, you have to save some for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll save some for tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Doc, Vanessa wants to ask a question.
Huh? She was there.
Vanessa? Yes. She wants to ask the fundamental.
She was there. How much she get?
I'm going to ask her.
How much she get?
I have to ask her. Okay. I have to ask her.
I don't know whether I get 2, 5 or 10.
Oh, they're cocoa business. Oh, they're going to about me cocoa.
Oh, so she was there?
She was there. She asked the question about the fundamentals are weak.
Huh?
Oh. Don't make serious. She wear glasses. Mr. Vice President, you in 2008 you said fundamentals are weak, they will expose you. Do you still stand by it?
That's it.
Yeah. Hey.
Thank you. My name is Fanel Tumboateng from Biometric TV. Mr. Vice President, you will remember this quote: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rates will expose you. And as at the time you were making this statement, a dollar to Cedi was 3 cedis and above, or about 3 cedis. 4 cedis, right, thank you. 2024, a dollar to a Cedi is 15 Ghana cedis, about 15 Ghana cedis. Okay, over 15 Ghana cedis, thank you. How do I explain this to my mother, a cocoa seller, that in 2014, the fundamentals were weak? In 2024, where a dollar is now 15 cedis, the fundamentals are not weak, but the prices of goods and services are high today. Thank you.
So the other question, the nice one Vanessa was asking, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, which is a truism. It was true then, and it's still true today. It's an economic truism that once the fundamentals weaken, you will see the impact on the exchange rate fundamentally. And when we talk about many of these fundamentals, you're talking about the GDP growth rate, you're talking about the fiscal balance, you're talking about the exchange, the reserves, level of the reserves that you have, inflation, and so on. When we came into office, during the first term before we hit COVID, between 2017 and 2019, you saw the fundamentals pretty much strengthening by all accounts. And the exchange rate depreciated in those 3 years by less than 5%. That was the lowest depreciation in the currency for 28 years. 28 years. That was the lowest depreciation of the currency. I think we went up, even after COVID, we didn't get that high a depreciation. But the biggest shock for the economy came in 2022. All hell was breaking loose in 2022. Inflation, 54% as at November 2022. Exchange rate had depreciated 54%. And of course, you could look at the fundamentals were in trouble at that time. You saw the fiscal deficit going up, you saw inflation going up, growth declining. And so for me, it wasn't surprising, if it was shocking, the extent to which the exchange rate went. So the point that we are making is that once the fundamentals weaken, you will get it shown in the exchange rate. And this is why we have seen that recently, even though we were depreciating in November at 54%, this year the depreciation has been 18.6% so far, right? We're looking at about 18.6%. So you are looking at a situation this year. Why?
Wait, Vanessa, the assemblable
question of the day. I never knew about this one.
Oh yeah, I know you were busy with football weather.
Oh no, I was busy doing. Annie sent me a text. I told her what I was doing.
So Vanessa went to ask the question. They say Vanessa take money there. Is she referring to her mother selling cocoa is not true? And Vanessa say, then she went to stand by the cocoa and she was selling it.
If you go ask this question, they expect you.
They go give you the money, so thousands if you don't go get 500 self.
So
she was showing them that truly she has a question for her mother.
So is this the cocoa people have been bringing in the morning?
No, this one there today that she brought is fundamental cocoa.
So that's a new name for the cocoa.
Yes,
fundamental cocoa.
Yeah.
Where is it?
So when we close the show, we'll bring you.
No, where is the place?
Oh, Vanessa, wait away.
Alajo.
Yeah.
So fundamental cocoa Alajo.
Alajo.
Please patronize. I need the exact area and all that so we can market it. Fundamental cocoa.
Fundamental cocoa.
Okay, but the cocoa is not weak.
The cocoa will be strong one. Okay. Today said she brings some. Say What's
that?
The fundamental cocoa.
That's the cocoa. That's the fundamental cocoa. Oh, I see. That's it. Okay. Fundamental cocoa Alajo. Which part of Alajo? Is that around the station? Where?
Vanessa, come here.
Is that where?
No, I'll get to you later. Come here.
Okay.
This is fundamental cocoa.
Oh, okay. So she actually used the practical experience of her mother's cocoa. Hajia Damata. Oh, Hajia Damata Clinic. It's just by the Hajia Damata Clinic. That's where the fundamental cocoa is.
Yes.
So Alajo, Hajia Damata Clinic. That's where you find fundamental cocoa. But the cocoa is strong, it's not weak.
It's a strong one.
Yes.
Cocoa kakra, bobo fruit. Then, President Obama went to Ashawa yesterday. And he decided to tease about me as well. Okay. Let's watch the video.
Okay.
Okay.
Can speak like AK-47. Suddenly, media encounter. I think. Ezu can speak like AK-47. Suddenly, media encounter. I think.
I'm not part.
I think we need to go.
We need to go. Today's my mother's birthday.
Your mother?
Yes.
Okay.
Agnes Ankuvi. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, mommy.
Madam Agnes Ankuvi.
Yeah, my only year kakaka. Now long life, please, good health. Yeah, and you please the obete. Me make her proud, sir. That day, my only year. Happy birthday to my mother, Agnes Ankuvi. But doc, my professor at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Georgina Yaudro, has done a study. Says that cohabitation in university is very high.
Cohabitation as in two guys patching or guy and girl? At the university.
At the university.
Her research shows.
Yes.
Recent study.
So
shows that cohabitation
among university students is really high. Where they do domestic chores.
And university students are above 18. They're above 20, right?
Yeah.
And you know when you cohabitate after a certain period, it could be considered a marriage.
As marriage, the research also added that usually after school, the thing ends with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
When we were in school, there was something used to call help me
finish my course.
But normally that was with the external people, the church people. So in your hustling days, they will help you, and then when you finish, you get a job, then you go and look for your grammar queen. Okay. So the cohabitation is high.
It's high among university students.
Okay. What was it during your time when you were there? What was it during your time?
We will just go visit and come back.
Okay. So you didn't do any cohabitation?
Oh, you know, cohabitation. I will go visit and come back. That was me and my wife. So we make us run back to my place.
Your wife was in UCC with you?
Yes.
You were mates?
No mates. She was in third year when I was doing service on campus.
When you were supposed to go and teach them as TA?
I was working at ATLFM, the campus radio station.
So you were requesting songs for her? And her friends. Hey, radio presenters. You see, just when I asked the question, you couldn't answer. Anyway, up next, Metro Sports.